We're gonna make some guacamole tonight. We had it while we were on vacation down in Florida, and we're trying to make the recipe as close as we can to what we had that night.
Excuse the puppy drinking interlude.
We have the avocados. Calls for 2, that's what we're thinking. They're kind of, nice and soft. Onion, cilantro, tomato, lime, and jalapeno.
And we got our chips. You got the scoop chips and the lime chips, right?
Yeah, the hint of lime is kind of like our favorite. We like that. But we were running low, so I got the scoops. Okay, chop up the cilantro first. There's about 2 tablespoons of cilantro in it, but we really like cilantro, so I kind of go overboard with it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that looks like a lot more than 2.
Well, that's the beauty of cooking on your own. You could add extra of the ingredients you like and less of the ones you don't care for. Okay, and the onion, we're not going to need this much, so I'm just going to put maybe a little less than half. Set that aside. Now we'll try and mince this, cut it nice and thin.
It's nice to watch you cut things because I cut everything the same way.
Oh yeah, how's that?
Badly.
Okay, now for the hot stuff. The jalapeno pepper. And if you don't like the guacamole hot, you don't want to put a lot of this in. If you like stuff really hot, you can put it all in. It's a lot of jalapeno.
Yeah, that is a lot. I'm gonna need some water with that.
Okay, now we're going to put about half of the lime juice on it. And when you roll it and squeeze it, it breaks up some of the juice in it. So.
Oh, some more comes out?
Yep. We'll squeeze that right on.
Okay, now you're mashing?
Yeah. Mix all those flavors together. Add a little bit of salt.
Is that one good?
It doesn't look like the ripest ones. Well, this one looks pretty decent. Okay, now the difference with this guacamole recipe from the others we've had is they don't mash it. What they did was they chopped it. And the texture of it was kind of different and unique from the ones we had before. I normally put a nice big juicy tomato in and slice it up, but we had these sweet cherry tomatoes, so I thought I would use these up instead. And I'm kind of experimenting with this because I've never used these before, but I think it'll be a good experiment because these are kind of sweeter. So I think it'll give it a good flavor. So we'll just slice these up a bit. And if I experiment and it doesn't turn out good, I get in trouble, so I have to be careful.
Yeah, you get some big trouble.
There's a price to pay at the end.
Right. Because, most people would be thankful for somebody else cooking anything for them or making them anything, but not me.
No, that isn't how it works in our house. I cook in fear.
You cook in fear.
Yeah. Okay, now before I put them in, I'm going to mix this up. And as I'm stirring it, it's mashing it just a little, but you can still see we have the nice chunks in there still.
Yeah, we don't like ours mashed up and creamy, but if you liked them mashed up and creamy, I think you could fork this, right?
Oh, absolutely. If
you could
do
smash
prefer
it
like
up.
that, now's the perfect time to go ahead and mash it. But I'm going to leave it like that. And then I'm going to put the tomatoes in, and we do that last because we don't want to mix this too much. We just want to fold the tomatoes in. Okay, we do that, and now we have the other lime, the other half. And this is where we could go ahead and put that in.
There it is, the finished product, guacamole. A la the easy Italian. That's what I figured we'd call him, guys, the
No.
easy Italian.
That's not cool.
So you could either interpret it as meaning easy Italian food or that he's slutty.
And now we're going to start the main course. What we're going to have tonight is enchiladas. And I can't take any credit for this recipe. It's actually Crystal's mom's family recipe. Just have tortilla shells, sharp cheddar, ground beef, pinto beans. I'll tell you a story about that later. I got in trouble because I deviated.
He likes to deviate in recipes, and that just, my mom's not down with that.
Yeah, I got in trouble. Tomato sauce, and you can see I'm deviating because I'm using diced.
Ooh, I'm gonna tell.
Tomato sauce and onion. Very simple, basic recipe. Very easy to put together. Very fast.
And what is this, may I ask, Chef?
That's my iced tea.
That ain't iced tea, y'all.
We're going to start by frying this up.
So it's a pound of chopped meat fried up.
Yep. Okay, now while that's starting to cook, I'm going to cut up the onion. This is the onion we had left over from the guacamole. We'll use this here. And we're going to chop this in kind of big chunks. So we're not mincing, we're chopping. Chopping's a little different because you can see how big these pieces are.
Oh, so this is bigger than the
Yeah.
guacamole.
The chopping is different from mincing.
Oh, see, this is good you're explaining this because I don't know the difference. I cut it, like I said last time, I cut everything the same way.
So it's a good time while the chopped meat is cooking in the frying pan to do your cutting and prep work while that's cooking. Okay, now we're frying up the chopped meat, and if you have one of these utensils, it's good to go ahead and press it down. It works a little better than the wooden spoon, because you see how it's breaking it up? And for the enchiladas, we want to have the chopped meat broken up very nicely, almost like a sloppy Joe texture. And this utensil works really good for that. And what we're going to do now, the chopped meat is cooked, we want to drain the fat off. So just come here. Okay, now it's drained. Put it back in. And we put it back on. And now, instead of tomato sauce, that's what Crystal Mom's uses. I like using the fire roasted diced garlic. And I'll let you know, I get in trouble for deviating, so we'll put that in.
How many ounces is that can?
Let's see. That is 14.5 ounces.
Okay, so two 14.5 ounce cans.
Yep. And just mix it up. Okay, now I'm going to deviate from the family recipe again. But I like to add a little spice to it, so I put a little chili powder, maybe about that much, and a little ground cumin. Not as much as the chili powder, not that much. And some salt and pepper. And stir it up again. Okay, now that we put the diced tomatoes in, I want to thicken it up a bit, so a very small can of tomato paste, about 6 ounces. We take maybe 2 spoonfuls from that and put it in. That's about 3/4 of the can. I'm going to stir that up. Now it's on high, so at this point it's cooking real nice. I'm going to turn it down to about medium heat. Right there. So this will thicken up nice, and you can smell the flavor starting to come out. Yeah, because now we're going to let it simmer for a little bit. And Goya, pinto beans.
That's
Okay.
a big one, right?
That's the big one. And a little information on this. This is what I deviated from last time. I put some kidney beans in with it. And you might not know this about Crystal, but she's a major tattletailer.
Uh-huh.
She called her mama and said, "Do you know what your son-in-law did to your recipe?" She told her I put the kidney beans in there, and I got a 10-minute lecture.
Yep, he got a lecture because he did wrong.
All right, now we just add the pinto beans, and we mix that together. This has been simmering for just about 10 minutes, so it's all done. So at this point what we'll do is we'll shut it off and put the enchilada together. Okay, so we have the tortilla shell, cheese, the meat and beans with the sauce, and the onions. Like I said, very simple recipe, very quick to put together as well. So you take a tortilla shell, fold it in half, and this is what we're going to serve. We'll put one here. And what we like to do is make a little extra, you know, to take to work in our lunches or have the next day. So I always prepare some Tupperwares so we could just grab a lunch instead of, you know, having going out to buy something or a microwave meal. It's always good to cook a little extra and make some for the next day. So this I'm gonna chop up and put on the bottom, nice bite-sized pieces. Okay, and we'll put a layer of beans and meat. Okay, now we'll put some onions. And some cheese. Fold it over. Again, this is Mama Campbell's recipe, her sacred family recipe.
Yeah, her sacred easy family recipe.
That Crystal grew up on.
That I grew up on. I used to eat I used to wait. This was my favorite meal, so I used to wait for her to make this on Saturday nights. And it happens to be Saturday night.
Okay, now I'll top it off with a little cheese. And again, just a little deviation with the spice. You know, I added the chili powder and cumin. But, you know, when in doubt, always side with the Italian on the spice.
Oh my God.
Yes. And there you have it, enchiladas.
Enchiladas, easy enchiladas.
By the Easy Italian.
By the easy Italian.